My name is Robbie Dick. I'm with BMC Software. I've only got a couple minutes, but that's all we need. So basically I want to talk about how BMC and Hortonwoks in combination can help you better manage and operate your Hadoop process. So are you familiar with BMC Software at all? Yes. I mean, we manage mainframes to Windows boxes to any platform application in between. Yes. So it's been around since the mid-'80s, based in Houston, Texas. Correct. Yes, that's BMC. Correct. So about a year and a half ago, we announced support for Hadoop, specifically with our Control-M product line. So what's known as workload automation, historically known as batch job scheduling. But let me give you just a few minutes, and then we can talk about details in a second. So you're doing something with big data today, obviously. That's why you're at the show. So are you interested in increasing the pace at which you can deliver Hadoop-related applications? You want to deliver Hadoop-related applications faster. So we can help you do that, particularly with that Control-M product. I'll show you some details in a second, but just at a high level, the ability to quickly create the batch or the processing parts related to Hadoop, the ability to take corrective actions when those jobs may fail. It really is letting the Hadoop folks spend time and effort on the Hadoop parts of the process, not the workload or batch parts, which is what Control-M is there to help do. Increase the level of service that you provide. So whether Hadoop stands on its own in your environment, likely it does not. It's connected to part of a larger business process, maybe some ETL processing or database processing. The ability to have all of that in an easy to understand, easy to access view of how's my service doing. Is my big data related processing going to be done by 3 o'clock tonight, by 5, by whatever time it needs to be done. So that's a key capability of the Control-M solution, has been for a long time, and now again for the last year or so, Hadoop is supported in that environment. So that's another one of the key features. Again, and I'll get to some details in a second, but the last one I'll talk about is just keep up with the pace of change that the business that's happening. So whether it's Hadoop 2 or Hadoop 3 or whatever the next release is, and additional technologies that come in that need to play along with the Hadoop processing that you have, basically the ability to support any and all of those technologies very, very quickly. So a little bit of detail how. Now I realize you can't maybe see the details of the screen here, but we do we're very happy to be here at the Hortonwoks booth, but if you want more details later today or tomorrow, come by booth 1612 and we can go into the details. But here you can see what our Control-M job definition screens for a database job, an Informatica job, a file transfer job, and a Hadoop job. So really, regardless of the application or the operating system, the technology that's there, we provide a single interface with specific details on the underlying technology. So when you're talking about the batch or the workload processing components, a single interface to let you create regardless of what the underlying application is. This is a little bit more detailed view of what that Hadoop job looks like. So if you're in the Control-M job definition screen, and from the palette you see I need a Hadoop job, this is what you would be presented with. And so here you can see in the execution type pull down, you've got some options there. Tajo, I, Scoop, Pig. So you can worry less about scripting the batch or the workload parts and spend more time on the Hadoop part. So you still may have a Hive script or a Scoop script or a Java map reduce processing, but all the complex error checking and remediation, the ability to rerun jobs and rerun them from certain points, Control-M is there to take care of all of that through the Control-M capabilities, so you don't have to worry about those in the scripts, which you're still going to have scripts. You're still going to have your big data scripts, but your big data team can focus 100% on the big data processing, not the batch or the workload parts. That's what their Control-M is there to do. And let you do that at service level, easily see history, actually forecast what that's going to look like on a future day. Again, all key Control-M capabilities, regardless of the technology of the specific job. So this is the screen where you would monitor a job. So, of course, we provide linkage to the Hadoop native output as well, which is a single click from this section of the job right here. But we also provide a web-based interface, so full iOS and Android support. So for those that need to check state and status of the Hadoop processing, you can do it in the built-in Windows interface that we have, or from a mobile device. Tablet optimized, so the view will be slightly different on the phone as it is on a large screen tablet. Just to take most advantage of the real estate that's there. You're probably already doing Hadoop today. Maybe you've already implemented Oozie. So here you can see the conversion tool for your Control M solution. Basically, the upper list is the competitors that are in the workload space, but in the recent years we've worked more on the application. So we have an SAP conversion, but obviously the one that is of interest probably to you is a Hadoop Oozie conversion. So if you're already going down the path of Oozie and you want to get those Oozie job definitions out of Hadoop into Control M as quickly as possible, with as few errors as possible, we provide a tool and a Control M solution that will help you. Basically, Control M supports any non-fork Hadoop distribution. So I think I have a slide on that in a second, but we support basically Hortonwoks and Cloudera, Napar, Big Insights, as well as a couple others. So as long as it's version 0 up to 2, I think we fully support the conversion. So not a Hadoop specific screen by any means, but this is the monitoring view of the Control M Enterprise manager. Basically a flow of jobs. They may be all Hadoop jobs. They may be a few Hadoop jobs connected to some database processing or some ETL processing that occurs before or after that. Of course, permissions control what you can and can't do, but here you can see just stylized view of it doesn't matter what platform the job is running on or what the technology is or where it's running. If you have permission, you can see the jobs, and then you could right click on any of these jobs to see the output, to rerun the job, to look at the historical information about it. Maybe the job failed today, part of the processing failed, and you want to see how that compares to last week or last month. You can do all of those things in a matter of seconds through the Control M. BMC software, so you mentioned it, not generally known to be a big player in the big data space. I mean, obviously it's fairly new, but a Gartner report a few months ago indicated we're the only enterprise solution that is there to help you manage your Hadoop environment, and that's specifically the Control M workload automation solution. So we're very proud of that, and we have supported it now for over a year. We have a development team that's specifically focused on Control M for Hadoop. So it's changing more than any other IT environment, and IT already changes, so we have a team that's dedicated to keeping pace with that. Like I mentioned earlier, we're very happy to be in the Hortonwoks booth. We have a partnership with Hortonwoks. We're working on a few others, but the first one we started with is with Hortonwoks, so we fully are supported and certified in the modern data architecture that is so prevalent, so we're good. And just in closing, if you have any questions, please feel free. But come by booth 1612. We're gonna have a more detailed discussion. You can see a demo. We have a little bit of literature here, but we have some more at the booth. But we'd be more than happy to see you come by. And if you're working on this, we're one of the participating booths. So if you get at least 10 of the scans, you'll be entered in for a Hero 3 GoPro camera. Thanks for attending. I'm going to put this down now. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate.